Welcome everyone. I'm excited to kick off our course today with the Bus 422 course syllabus overview. We'll be diving into real estate finance and investment throughout this class. In this presentation, I'll briefly walk you through what you can expect to learn, the structure of the course, and how we'll approach key topics. Let's get started. Welcome to our course overview. In this self-study program, we'll explore both the theoretical foundations and practical applications of real estate finance and investment. Our goal is to give you a well-rounded understanding of how these principles operate in real-world settings. We'll look at key concepts like legal, financial, and economic factors that influence both residential and commercial real estate markets. Some of the main topics we'll cover include mortgages, underwriting processes, property valuation, and taxation. We'll also delve into investment analysis, leverage, and risk management strategies. Furthermore, the course discusses financing techniques for income-producing properties, corporate real estate, as well as project and land development. This comprehensive approach is designed to prepare you to make informed decisions when it comes to financing and investing in real estate. By the end, you'll be equipped with the knowledge and skills to navigate the complexities of real estate markets confidently and professionally. On this slide, we're focusing on mastering the essential tools that every real estate investor needs. This includes understanding tax strategies, legal considerations, accounting principles, and the mathematical skills necessary to analyze investments effectively. It's not just about knowing these concepts in theory, but also applying them in real-world situations. We call this your investor's toolkit, the set of skills and knowledge that will help you make informed decisions and optimize your investments. Next, we'll explore the role of real estate in the U.S. economy today. Understanding how real estate fits into the broader economic landscape is crucial because it influences market trends and investment opportunities. Finally, we'll look at the fundamental drivers of real estate markets, those key factors that push prices up or down, and that help you anticipate changes before they happen. All of this ties back to our overall theme, equipping you with practical, actionable knowledge so you can succeed as a real estate investor. After completing this course, students will be able to evaluate fundamental legal concepts, including property rights and title assurance. They will also understand the structure of key financial instruments like promissory notes, mortgages, and deeds of trust. The goal here is to equip students with the knowledge to identify potential risks in real estate transactions and find ways to mitigate them effectively. These concepts are essential because they form the foundation for making informed decisions and ensuring secure transactions in the real estate industry. By mastering these topics, students will be better prepared to navigate the legal and financial complexities they'll encounter in their careers. Now, let's focus on some key concepts related to mortgage calculations. First, we have present value, which is essentially the current worth of future payments, based on a specific discount rate. Then, there's the monthly payment, which is the amount you pay each month to gradually pay off your loan. Understanding how to calculate these helps us see the true cost of a mortgage. We also look at total interest, which is the total amount paid over the life of the loan beyond the original principal. By applying the principles of the time value of money, specifically present value and future value calculations, we can accurately determine your loan balances at any point, figure out your monthly payments, and see how much interest you'll pay in total. This is crucial because it helps you compare different mortgage options and understand the long-term costs involved. Throughout this presentation, we'll see how these concepts connect to making smarter, more informed financial decisions when it comes to homeownership. Now, let's look at how students will compare risk-return profiles across different mortgage types and apply key residential underwriting criteria. We'll focus on factors like LTV, DTI, and creditworthiness, which are essential in making sound financing decisions. As we go through, you'll see how different mortgage options carry varying levels of risk and potential return. For example, with a floating-rate mortgage, payments are tied to market indices, which means they can fluctuate over time. This can be advantageous if rates go down, but it also introduces some uncertainty. On the other hand, adjustable-rate mortgages offer stable payments with predictable long-term costs, providing more certainty for borrowers. Fixed-rate mortgages, of course, lock in a constant interest rate, giving borrowers peace of mind and easier budgeting. Throughout this process, students will learn to continuously adjust their analysis, considering how higher risk-return profiles might influence lending decisions. This approach helps ensure that underwriting aligns with the borrower's financial situation and risk appetite, ultimately promoting responsible lending and borrowing. Remember, understanding these differences is key to making informed, strategic financing choices within the broader context of mortgage lending. Now, let's look at what really drives the income for commercial properties. First, we need to understand the different lease types, specifically gross and net leases. Gross leases mean that tenants pay a fixed rent, and the landlord covers most expenses. In contrast, net leases shift some or all of the expenses like taxes, maintenance, and insurance to the tenants. Recognizing these differences helps us see how income is generated and how stable it might be. Next, the market for space plays a crucial role. Vacancy rates tell us how much space is unoccupied, which directly impacts potential rental income. Lower vacancy rates generally mean higher income because more space is leased out. Absorption rates, on the other hand, show us how quickly available space is being leased over time. Fast absorption suggests a healthy demand, which tends to boost a property, net operating income, or NOI. By analyzing these factors, the lease types and the market dynamics, we can better understand what influences a property's income and how changes in the market environment can affect NOI. This understanding is key as we evaluate the financial health and potential of commercial real estate investments. Now, let's explore how we can apply financial metrics to evaluate whether an investment is feasible. First, we have the cap rate and cash-on-cash metrics. These are essential because they help us assess the property's income-generating potential relative to its price and the actual cash invested. Next, we look at benchmarking the property's value against comparable recent sales. This sales comparison approach gives us a realistic market perspective, ensuring we're not overpaying based on current market trends. Then, we estimate the market value using projected income streams and cap rates through the income capitalization method. This involves analyzing expected income and applying appropriate cap rates to determine what the property is worth today. All these steps, property valuation and investment metrics, are crucial for making informed decisions. They connect to the overall goal of understanding whether a property is a solid financial investment, helping us compare different opportunities with confidence. In this part of the presentation, we're focusing on how students will be able to assess, quantify, and propose strategies to manage these key risks across different investment scenarios. First, let's talk about leverage risk. This is the risk that amplified losses can occur when using borrowed capital. Essentially, if the investment doesn't perform well, the losses are magnified because of the debt involved. Next is liquidity risk. This is the difficulty in converting real estate to cash quickly. Sometimes, properties can take time to sell, which can be a challenge if you need quick access to cash. Then we have interest rate risk. This relates to how changes in interest rates can impact your financing costs. Rising rates mean higher costs for borrowing, which can affect your profitability. Finally, market risk involves fluctuations in property values and demand. Property markets can be volatile, and understanding these fluctuations is crucial for making informed investment decisions. Overall, our goal is to equip students with the ability to identify these risks, measure their potential impact, and develop effective strategies to manage them. This aligns with our broader aim of fostering comprehensive risk management skills in real estate investing. Now, on this slide, we're focusing on specialized financing structures that are used in various types of real estate transactions. Students will learn how to analyze these structures, which include complex arrangements tailored for specific project needs. We'll explore how these structures apply to corporate real estate, project development, and land development, helping you understand their strategic financial implications. One key concept here is the sale-leaseback, which is a common transaction that can significantly impact a company's finances. Understanding the strategic benefits, like freeing up capital or improving balance sheets, is essential. Throughout this section, we'll connect these financing strategies to the broader theme of maximizing value and managing risk in real estate investments. By the end, you'll be able to evaluate different structures and understand their role in shaping successful transactions. The textbook is available from Amazon.com, so you can easily find it there. Be sure to check the course portal as well, because you'll find a direct link to purchase it. It's important to get the 2024 edition of the textbook, as this will ensure you're aligned with all the assigned readings and the content covered in each module. This way, you'll have the most up-to-date information and resources to support your learning. The textbook we're using is Real Estate Finance and Investments by Brueggemann and Fisher, published by McGraw-Hill. Remember, having the required materials is essential for staying on track and getting the most out of this course. Let's talk about how our exams work and what you need to focus on. The exams are designed to assess your understanding of all the material we've covered, including readings and videos from each module. The final exam is quite important. It's worth 100 points and consists of 50 multiple-choice questions, so it's essential to prepare thoroughly. Now, to do well on these assessments, you need to watch all the required videos before submitting any written work. These videos help reinforce key concepts and give you a solid understanding of the material. Remember, engaging with these videos is crucial because they form the foundation for the questions you'll see on the exams. In addition to the videos, you should complete the textbook chapters and instructor-selected articles before each module's assignments. This ensures you're well prepared and can connect the readings to the broader course themes. Overall, the key to success is staying consistent with your study habits, watching videos, completing readings, and reviewing all materials thoroughly. Doing this will help you connect the dots across modules and perform confidently on your exams. Now, at the end of each module, we have a quiz designed to assess how well you've grasped the material we've covered. These quizzes are a great way to reinforce your learning and identify any areas that might need a bit more review. Within each module, you'll also find multiple learning objectives. For each of these objectives, there are assigned readings that complement and deepen your understanding. These readings are carefully selected to align with the key concepts we're discussing. To really solidify your knowledge, there are various assignments included, things like concept reviews, critical thinking exercises, and applied activities. These are not just busy work. They're meant to connect the course content to real-world practice, making your learning both practical and relevant. Overall, the structure of each module is designed to build your understanding step by step, with assessments and activities that help you engage actively with the material. This approach ensures you're not just passively listening, but truly absorbing and applying what you learn. Let's explore how legal regulations and financial protections play a crucial role in reducing risk and supporting successful investment strategies. These elements help create a safer environment for investors, providing clarity and security. Next, we'll differentiate between common forms of real estate ownership. Understanding these variations is key because legal rights vary depending on the ownership structure, and that influences investment decisions and how properties are transferred. Now, I want to explain some fundamental legal concepts. Property rights define what owners can do with their property. Ownership structures, like sole ownership or joint ventures, shape legal responsibilities and benefits. Contracts are agreements that formalize transactions, while zoning laws regulate land use and development. Mortgages are loans secured by the property, and title insurance protects against potential ownership disputes. All of these concepts are interconnected and form the foundation of sound real estate investment. Grasping them helps us navigate legal complexities and make informed decisions, aligning with our overall goal of building a solid, legally compliant investment portfolio. Let's take a moment to analyze what happens when a borrower defaults on a loan and how the lender's right to foreclose on the collateral property comes into play. When a borrower fails to meet the repayment obligations, the lender has the legal right to initiate foreclosure proceedings. This process allows the lender to sell the property used as collateral, aiming to recover the outstanding loan balance. Understanding this is crucial because it highlights the importance of the collateral in real estate financing. Foreclosure serves as a safety net for lenders, but also has significant consequences for borrowers, potentially leading to the loss of their property. Now, let's differentiate between a promissory note and a mortgage. The promissory note is essentially the borrower's promise to repay the loan under agreed terms. It's a personal obligation that details the amount borrowed, interest rate, and repayment schedule. On the other hand, the mortgage is the security instrument that gives the lender a legal claim to the property if the borrower defaults. Both documents serve important roles. The promissory note ensures the borrower's commitment, while the mortgage provides the lender with a legal mechanism to recover their investment if repayment fails. Understanding these differences helps us see how each protects the interests of borrowers and lenders, balancing the risks involved in real estate financing. In summary, the promissory note and mortgage work together in real estate transactions. The note formalizes the borrower's promise to repay, and the mortgage secures that promise with the property itself. Recognizing their purposes and functions is key to understanding how financing arrangements are structured and protected in the real estate market. Now, let's talk about how to calculate present and future value to help us evaluate mortgage loans and investment returns. Understanding these concepts is crucial because they allow us to compare the value of money today versus in the future. This is especially important when analyzing how the time value of money influences various aspects of real estate, like loan amortization schedules, interest calculations, and long-term property financing outcomes. By applying these calculations, we can better assess the true cost of loans and the potential growth of investments over time. Throughout this module, we'll see how the time value of money is a foundational concept for making informed lending and investment decisions. It helps us understand why $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow, and how that impacts everything from monthly payments to overall profitability in real estate. So, as we move forward, keep in mind that mastering these calculations enables us to optimize financing strategies and improve long-term financial outcomes. Now, let's analyze how different factors like the loan term, interest rate, and payment amounts can really impact the overall cost of a mortgage, as well as your long-term investment decisions. These elements are crucial because they influence not just what you pay each month, but also the total amount you'll pay over the life of the loan. Next, we'll compare fixed-rate versus adjustable-rate mortgages to see which might be the best fit for various financial goals. Fixed-rate mortgages offer the benefit of predictable monthly payments, which provides a sense of financial stability. This predictability can be especially appealing if you prefer consistent payments and want to avoid surprises down the road. Understanding these key features helps you make more informed decisions, aligning your mortgage choice with your long-term financial plans. Remember, choosing the right mortgage isn't just about the current situation. It's about planning for the future and ensuring your investments grow steadily and securely. Now, let's take a closer look at how changing interest rates can impact your monthly payments, overall affordability, and long-term financial planning. When rates go up, your monthly payments can increase, making it more challenging to stay within your budget. Conversely, if rates decrease, your payments might go down, providing some relief. But it's important to think about how these fluctuations can affect your ability to plan for the future, especially over the life of your loan. Next, we'll compare adjustable-rate mortgages, or ARMs, with fixed-rate options. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages, along with potential financial risks. For example, ARMs often start with lower initial rates, which can be appealing, but they also come with the risk of rates increasing later on. Fixed-rate mortgages offer stability with consistent payments, but they might come with higher initial costs. Finally, understanding how interest rates are determined and how they can adjust over time is key. For ARMs and floating rate loans, rates are tied to specific benchmarks or indexes, and they can fluctuate periodically. This means your interest rate can change, impacting your payments and financial planning. Recognizing these key features helps you make more informed decisions, aligning your mortgage choice with your financial goals and risk tolerance. Now, let's look at how we evaluate mortgage-related strategies by interpreting loan data, forecasting repayment outcomes, and assessing the risks associated with different financing arrangements. This process helps us make informed decisions about the best financing options for various scenarios. When we talk about investment strategies, applying mortgage formulas is key to calculating accurate loan payments, which allows us to evaluate different financing options effectively. This also enables us to assess how residential and commercial loans perform over time, giving us a clearer picture of their potential profitability. Moving on to financial analysis tools, these are essential for analyzing various mortgage types, understanding different interest rate structures, and exploring amortization methods. By doing this, we can see how different loan terms impact borrowing costs and payment schedules, helping us optimize our strategies. This slide also ties into the overall theme of Module 6, focusing on mortgages, by expanding our understanding of additional concepts, analysis techniques, and practical applications. Ultimately, mastering these evaluations allows us to make smarter, more strategic financing decisions. Now, let's talk about some of the key financial factors that can impact the profitability of single-family properties. First, mortgage interest deductions can significantly reduce your taxable income, making your investment more financially attractive. Property taxes are another consideration. They represent ongoing costs that can affect your cash flow. Depreciation also plays a role here. It allows you to write off the property's value over time, which can provide additional tax benefits. All of these elements, interest deductions, taxes, and depreciation, work together to influence your overall profitability. It's important to understand how they interact so you can optimize your investment strategy. Moving on to tax considerations more broadly, think about how cash flow, appreciation, and financing options come into play. Positive cash flow is crucial for steady income, while property appreciation helps grow your equity over time. Your financing choices, like loan terms and interest rates, directly impact your returns. When you combine these factors, you get a clearer picture of your overall return on investment. Now, let's consider investment potential. Location is key. Properties in desirable areas tend to appreciate more quickly. Market demand influences how quickly you can rent or sell, while the property's condition can affect both its value and your maintenance costs. Plus, economic trends, like job growth or interest rates, also shape the future value of single-family homes. Finally, pricing factors are essential to understand. Setting the right price involves considering all these elements: location, demand, condition, and market trends, to ensure you're making a sound investment that aligns with your financial goals. Now, let's talk about how underwriting plays a critical role in securing financing. Essentially, it involves assessing the borrower's ability to repay the loan and evaluating the property's value as collateral. By doing this, lenders can minimize their risk and ensure that the loan is a sound investment. A key part of this process is understanding the financial ratios that influence loan approval and the terms offered. Two of the most important are the loan-to-value ratio, or LTV, and the debt-to-income ratio, or DTI. These ratios help lenders gauge how much borrowing capacity a borrower has and how comfortably they can handle additional debt. When evaluating a mortgage application, underwriters look closely at the borrower's creditworthiness, which includes their income, assets, and overall financial health. They also assess the property's value to make sure it supports the loan amount requested. This process is central to the overall theme of risk reduction in residential financing. By carefully analyzing these factors through underwriting, lenders protect themselves and ensure that borrowers are positioned to succeed with their mortgage. It's a thorough but essential step in making smart, secure financing decisions. Let's take a closer look at analyzing lease components. This involves understanding the responsibilities of both the landlord and the tenant, such as who handles maintenance, repairs, and other obligations. It's also important to review the rental terms, like the duration of the lease, renewal options, and rent escalation clauses. By evaluating these details, we can see how they impact the overall value of the property and the cash flows generated. Additionally, when assessing the market, we need to consider factors like supply and demand, economic trends, and location. These elements influence rental rates significantly and shape the market for space. For example, high demand in a prime location can drive up rents, boosting investment returns. Connecting this to the broader theme, understanding how leases and market conditions interact helps us evaluate property value and optimize investment strategies in real estate finance. It's all about recognizing how these components work together to impact income-producing properties and their profitability. Now, let's look at how we can apply appraisal techniques to evaluate income properties and compare them to other capital investment opportunities. This involves understanding the different methods used to determine a property's value and how those compare to alternative investments in the market. Next, we consider the importance of appraisal and comparison. By analyzing these factors, investors can make more informed decisions about where to allocate their capital, ensuring they choose investments that align with their financial goals and risk tolerance. Moving on, we'll explore how investor risk preferences and prevailing interest rates influence capitalization rates, or cap rates. These factors play a crucial role in determining the overall investment value of income-producing properties. Essentially, the higher the perceived risk or interest rates, the higher the cap rate tends to be, which impacts the property's value. Finally, we focus on the use of future cash flows and capitalization rates to estimate the value of income-producing properties. This approach, known as the income capitalization approach, is fundamental in property valuation because it links expected income to current value, helping investors assess whether a property is a worthwhile investment based on projected income streams. Altogether, these concepts are interconnected and central to understanding how income properties are valued in the context of broader capital market conditions. Now, let's talk about how we can apply investment analysis techniques to really understand the financial performance and long-term viability of income properties. We'll look at real-world scenarios to make this practical and relevant. First, we need to evaluate key factors like deductible expenses, depreciation, taxable income, and after-tax cash flow. These elements are essential because they directly impact the profitability of a property and help us gauge its financial health over time. Next, we'll examine the tax impact by calculating important metrics such as NOI, or net operating income, cap rates, cash flow, and return on investment. Understanding these figures allows us to assess how well a property is performing as an income-generating asset and helps us make informed investment decisions. Finally, I want to highlight some key financial measures that tie everything together. These tools enable us to analyze the property's potential, compare different investment opportunities, and evaluate their long-term viability. Throughout this module, our goal is to equip you with the skills to interpret these numbers confidently, ensuring you can make sound investment choices based on thorough analysis. Let's take a closer look at how analyzing LTV ratios, the cost of debt, and property income performance can help us understand the impact of leverage on our financial outcomes. By examining these factors, we can see how different levels of borrowing influence both risks and returns. Next, we'll compare various financing options such as conventional mortgages, equity participation loans, and seller financing. I'll walk you through their advantages and disadvantages and discuss when each type might be most appropriate based on your investment goals and situation. We'll also explore how using borrowed funds can potentially boost your returns, but at the same time, it can increase your investment risk. It's important to understand this balance so you can make informed decisions. Finally, I want to emphasize that leverage is a powerful tool in real estate investing, but it needs to be used wisely. Throughout this module, we've seen how different financing alternatives can shape your investment outcomes, and that's what makes understanding financial leverage so critical. Let's take a closer look at how risk assessment plays a crucial role in making informed decisions across various aspects of real estate investing. When we're selecting properties, understanding the risks helps us evaluate potential returns and avoid costly mistakes. Similarly, in financing, assessing risk guides us in choosing the right loan structures and terms that align with our risk appetite. For long-term investment strategies, a thorough risk assessment ensures we're prepared for future market shifts and economic changes. To deepen our analysis, we often apply techniques like sensitivity analysis and scenario testing. These tools allow us to simulate how different economic conditions, such as interest rate fluctuations or market downturns, could impact our investments. By doing this, we can better anticipate potential challenges and adjust our strategies accordingly. It's also vital to recognize the major risk types in real estate finance. Market risk refers to the overall economic conditions that influence property values. Interest rate risk involves fluctuations in borrowing costs, which can affect cash flow and profitability. Liquidity risk pertains to the ability to sell properties quickly without significant loss, and default risk is the chance that tenants or borrowers might fail to meet their obligations. Understanding these risks and applying robust analysis methods helps us make smarter, more resilient investment decisions. It's all about being proactive and well-informed in managing the uncertainties inherent in real estate. Now, let's talk about how we evaluate different capital improvement strategies to boost property value and rental income. The key here is to apply a thorough cost-benefit analysis. This helps us decide whether renovating a property makes more sense financially than selling it, especially when market conditions are changing. We want to look at factors like renovation costs, potential increases in income, and how these compare to the benefits of selling. It's also important to analyze market timing, knowing when the right moment is to sell or hold. We should consider tax implications, like capital gains taxes, which can significantly impact our net gains. Plus, there are reinvestment opportunities, such as 1031 exchanges, that allow us to defer taxes when reinvesting proceeds into new income properties. By evaluating these elements carefully, we can develop an effective disposition strategy that aligns with our overall investment goals. Remember, the goal is to maximize returns while managing risks, especially in a dynamic market environment. This approach helps us make informed decisions, whether to renovate or sell, based on the most effective investment outcome at any given time. When evaluating your real estate assets, it's crucial to assess the costs, risks, and potential return on investment associated with holding, renovating, or selling these properties. This means weighing the expenses involved, understanding the risks, like market fluctuations or unexpected costs, and estimating the possible ROI to make informed decisions. In terms of financial planning, you want to evaluate how capital improvements can boost property value, increase rental income, and ultimately enhance your overall investment performance. This involves carefully analyzing which upgrades or renovations will deliver the best return. When considering renovation strategies, it's important to analyze market timing, like knowing when to upgrade or sell, and consider tax implications, such as capital gains taxes. Reinvestment opportunities, including 1031 exchanges, can be powerful tools to defer taxes and reinvest gains into new properties, maximizing your investment potential. Finally, disposition considerations play a key role. Deciding when and how to sell involves understanding market conditions, tax impacts, and your long-term goals. All these elements, costs, risks, ROI, planning, renovation strategies, and disposition, connect directly to the overall theme of optimizing your corporate real estate portfolio for maximum value and performance. let's take a closer look at how we assess the risks and benefits of each financing source and how developers typically combine debt and equity to fund their projects. Starting with takeout loans, these are a form of permanent financing that replace construction loans once the project is completed. This transition helps stabilize the project's financial structure. Next, we have equity financing and mezzanine debt, which are used to fill the gaps between senior debt and the developer's own equity. These sources are crucial when the project requires additional funding beyond what senior lenders are willing to provide, but they come with higher risks and potentially higher returns. Finally, short-term financing is often structured through loan draws that are tied directly to project milestones. This approach allows developers to align funding with specific phases of the project, reducing unnecessary exposure and managing cash flow effectively. Understanding how these sources interact and the associated risks helps developers craft a balanced financing strategy, combining different types of debt and equity to optimize project success while managing risk. Now, let's discuss some strategic considerations when it comes to land development. One key area is understanding lender concerns. Lenders are primarily focused on the collateral, so they want to see that the land has strong potential value. They also look at market demand to ensure there's a viable buyer or user for the property. Additionally, the experience of the developer plays a big role. Lenders prefer working with developers who have a proven track record. And of course, for raw land, they often require recourse loans, meaning the borrower might be personally responsible if things go south. Next, we have to consider development risks. These risks can impact the project's success and should be carefully managed. Acquisition and development loans are typically used to support not just buying the land, but also preparing the site. Think grading, clearing, and infrastructure improvements. These steps are crucial because they can significantly influence the marketability and value of the property. This ties into the broader theme of financing land development projects, which we covered in Module 17. Understanding these financial tools and risk factors is essential for navigating the complex process of turning raw land into a developed, valuable asset. All right, let's talk about the final exam. It consists of 50 multiple-choice questions that cover all the content we've gone through in this module. These questions are designed to test your overall understanding of the material. The exam is worth 100 points, which will contribute directly to your course grade. So, it's important to prepare well and review all the key concepts we've discussed. Remember, the goal is to demonstrate your grasp of the entire module, so take your time and answer carefully. This final assessment is a great opportunity to showcase what you've learned and solidify your knowledge. Now, let's wrap up with some key takeaways. First, leveraging risk analysis and specialized financing structures is essential across various real estate activities, whether it's corporate projects, land development, or other ventures. Understanding how to balance risk and opportunity helps us make smarter decisions. Next, we have a set of quantitative tools. Think about time value of money, net operating income, cap rates, loan-to-value ratios, and debt-to-income ratios. These are the foundational calculations that inform sound investment choices, giving us a clearer picture of potential returns and risks. Finally, it's crucial to recognize that property rights, mortgages, notes, and title assurance form the legal and financial backbone of every transaction. Without these fundamentals, transactions wouldn't be secure or enforceable. In essence, these concepts tie back to the overall theme of the course: understanding the strategic, analytical, and legal frameworks that underpin successful real estate investments and development.